everybody, my name is Eva and welcome to my channel, Eva's Original Wonders. Today we'll be talking about the cell and what are their parts and their functions. So let's get started. So what is a cell? Well, a cell is basically the building blocks of, us. They make up anything that is living, any living organism, and there are two types of cells, plant cells and animal cells. We'll be focusing only on one today, and that is animal cells. So we're going to start with cell theory. So there are 3 rules in the modern cell theory. Number 1, the cell is the smallest living unit in all organisms. Second rule is all living things are made out of cells. So there is unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular has only one cell, a living thing has only one cell, but we are multicellular, which means that we have millions and billions of cells in us. Can you imagine? In this small little part, there must be a lot of cells. A lot. So we are multicellular. Anyways, last rule is all cells come from other existing cells, which is pretty interesting. Right, now on to parts of a cell. You can see I've got 1 part or 2 parts of a cell right here. So let's jump right in. Whee! Right, so you see this purple thing over around the yellow part of the cell? That is called the cell membrane, this purple bit here. And this yellow bit is called cytoplasm. Now, what are these two? So the cell membrane is basically like a fence that surrounds the cell. It's kind of like a gate. It lets certain things in and certain things out. So yeah, that's what the cell membrane is. Now, what is cytoplasm? Cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance that contains the parts, otherwise known as organelles, within a cell. Parts such as the Golgi apparatus, vacuoles, and mighty mitochondria, which we'll be learning about in this video later. Now let's move these 2 out of the way. Boop. And now let's go to the nucleus and the nucleolus. Where's my nucleolus? Here it is. Okay, so let's just move the nucleolus out of the way and let's learn about the nucleus. So what is the nucleus? Well, the nucleus is the brain of the cell because it directs what happens within it. So it contains the cell's genetic information called DNA. The DNA provides the information required for making the proteins that control the activities of the cell. So you see this dark pink line that surrounds the nucleus? That's the nucleus membrane, which basically separates the nucleus from other parts of a cell. Now let's go to the nucleolus. The nucleolus basically produces ribosomes, which basically, produces protein. So yeah, that's what the nucleolus is. Right, so now that we got the nucleus and the nucleolus, the cell membrane, and the cytoplasm, now let's go on to the mighty mitochondria. I just add the mighty bit because it sounds fun. These are mitochondria. So, what are mitochondria? Now let me grab this over here. Just put that there. These 2 are mitochondria. So, mitochondria basically kind of acts like a powerhouse for the cell. It gives the cell power to function and work. Now, it's not the powerhouse that you're thinking of, like it runs on electricity or something. The mitochondria runs on glucose, which is basically a type of sugar, and it also needs oxygen in order to convert the glucose into energy. So yeah, that is what the mighty mitochondria do. Right, let's move the mitochondria thing away. Now let's focus on ribosomes. Ta-da! So what are ribosomes? Well, they're basically like protein-making factories. They produce protein, and protein is very, very important to a cell because they provide the structure and support they need to help cells basically function. So yeah, that's what these two little purple thingies called ribosomes do. Now just remember, this is not the actual colors of inside the cell. I just, chose random colors and put them in. So just keep that in mind. Now, let's move ribosomes aside and move on to vacuoles. These are vacuoles. Ta-da! Now, what are vacuoles? They're basically like blockers because they store things for the cell. For example, water, waste, and etc. Stuff like that. So they're basically like your cupboard where you store your clothes and all that stuff. So basically, they store food, water, and waste. Yeah, that's what a vacuole is. Right, now let's move this out of the way. And then let's put in sorry, my thing fell down. Let's put this in. The endoplasmic reticulum. That's a very long name. Just repeat after me. Endoplasmic reticulum, or for short, ER. So what is the ER? Well, the ER is basically like the bakery of the cell because it makes proteins for the cell. Now, there are two types of ER, rough ER and smooth ER. The rough ER plays an important role in producing and processing the proteins for the cell. Oops, sorry, the parts flew off. Right, so as I was saying, the rough ER plays an important role in producing and processing proteins for the cell. Right, now for the smooth ER. The smooth ER is in charge of several processes, including the synthesis of lipids, the production of some type of hormones, and getting rid of toxic byproducts, which could that's a hard word to say, which could impact the cell, basically. Sorry if I messed up that word. Whatever. Right, now to move this out of the way, now we're going to focus on the Golgi apparatus. Now, this is like an interesting part of the cell. I mean, all of the parts of the cell is very interesting, but this is the last one we'll be going over today. So you can think of the Golgi apparatus, being the delivery service or mailroom for the cell. The Golgi apparatus, also known as the Golgi body, takes the proteins and lipid molecules that are processed by the ER and places them into vesicles, which is basically like delivery boxes, as we can think of that, to be distributed either within or outside the cell. Now, there are many other parts in a cell, not just these. So I'm gonna make another video to cover that because we don't have a lot more time on our hands right now. So yeah, this is what we're going to cover for today, and we're going to see some more parts in our next video. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And yeah, this is all for now. This is Eva signing off. See ya. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you later. You get it? Did you get it? No, you didn't.